Anambra State, father's car becomes death trap for 3 kids. Fresh facts have emerged regarding the tragic death of 3 children in Nise community, Awka South local government area of Anambra State. Contrary to earlier reports suggesting they were murdered by unknown persons, investigations reveal that the children suffocated inside their father's car parked within the compound. President General of Nise Community, Chief Anthony Nwaobuna, clarified to journalists on Monday that there were no signs of physical violence or use of weapons on the deceased children, and no ropes or bindings were found on their bodies. According to Nwaobuna, the children, 2 boys and 1 girl, had been playing inside the car, inadvertently locking themselves in. The car's windows were closed, leading to suffocation. The youngest child's body reportedly showed swelling consistent with lack of air. We received a distress call from the local vigilante group and rushed to the scene. Upon investigation, it became clear that the children had not been slaughtered as previously reported. They were playing in the car when this unfortunate incident happened. Nwaobuna explained. He emphasized the importance of parental supervision, noting that leaving underage children at home without an adult present contributed to the tragedy. The head of the community's vigilante group, speaking anonymously, corroborated Nwaubuna's account. He detailed how the children's father, upon returning home and unlocking the gate, searched the house and compound before discovering his children lifeless inside the car. The Anambra State Police Public Relations Officer SP Tochukwu Ikenga confirmed the incident. He stated that the father of the children had been interviewed and that investigation is ongoing. The tragedy has left the community in mourning, sparking conversations about the need for heightened safety measures and awareness to prevent such incidents in the future.
Wow, that's a very unfortunate one. Very, very, very unfortunate one.
Right.
Because what happened to those children is normal, because if you're inside a car and the doors are locked and the windows are all up, after a while, even if you were the only one in that car, if you stay for up to an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, you use up the oxygen inside the car. And immediately you self as an adult may be able to will suffocate. Not talk about 3 children that were playing. In the midst of that play, they were breathing heavily. And then the sweating, their body heat, added up to using up the oxygen inside the car at that time. So for me, I don't know what happened, but the father, the man was careless, because there are things you don't do. I don't know how old those children are, because locking themselves inside the car, what kind of car is it that could have made them lock themselves, that they couldn't open the car? Or it's still possible, maybe before they could realize that they were looking for, that they've locked themselves, they've started gasping for air. So at that point, being children, their mind might have gone to, okay, go to the side of the driver's door and unlock yourselves and come out. Maybe their mind didn't go there. And that was why, in being there, screaming and saying, I can't breathe, trying to help each other, they went off.
Now, the chief of the community did mention something very, very pertinent as regards the matter. When you look at the way parents are able to leave minors at home, many times, in much more civilized nations, you leave a child unattended, you go to jail for it. Now the police is saying they called the man to interview him. In most countries,
there's no interview.
There's not men. Do you think there's going to be an interview? Now that is on one hand. On the other hand is the ability for a parent to say, you're leaving 3 minors alone by themselves. What are your thoughts on that as regards when you look at this situation as a parent, look at it through the measures you put in place to keep your children safe? Do you think hardship now plays a role in parents, getting the goal to say, let me walk away, I want to quickly rush to do this because these children need to eat and all of that?
Hardship. I don't think it's hardship. It's just common sense and being sensitive to things. Now, I have a daughter, and we also have a house help. She's about 15 years. But the truth is, any day that I know, because my wife, she goes out in the morning, comes back by 12:1. Now my daughter's school closes by 2. The house help too around that same 2. So my wife stays at home till about 3:34, when she now goes for the evening, when she does 2 jobs. When she now goes for the second job, which now comes back by 6. Now, if you look at the time intervals, we can allow them, the 2 of them, to stay at home, because the 15-year-old at least can be able to take care of my daughter that is about 3 now, going to 4 years. Now, but any day I know that my wife is not going to be coming back throughout, because there are some days like that for her, that she won't come back throughout till evening. The moment my daughter closes from school, because the time is long, is so long, I don't leave them. I go pick my daughter and ask the house help, once you're done with school, come to my office. So they come to the office and they stay in my office till my wife closes around that 5, 6, and then come to pick them from the office and go home. Why? Because you see, when you leave children in a closed environment for too long,
Right.
they're very curious. You find out that either they try to see if they can open the door. If they can't open the door, they try to see what they can fiddle with. All those things just distract themselves, because in their head, why did Daddy lock us in? So that question, because if you do that, you are putting them in it. For me, it wasn't nice leaving those 3 children in your compound without an adult around, and you lock them in. And from what I saw, he even locked the gate in the name of security too. So for me, no, it's not poverty. You have a little cousin. You have someone that can come and just live with you in the house.
Some people do not have leverage to that.
No, people have.
Sometimes some people don't have anybody.
Not for me. You have neighbors. You can take your children to your neighbor's place. You have neighbors. If you don't have such thing, like me, there are also some time that, okay, I know I'm going to be very busy in the office today, carrying these people. I have people coming for counseling and all the things. People are coming to meet me for 1 or 2 things, for consultations and all that. Today, my office won't be free for them to be in the office. So what do? I'll take them to a neighbor's place. I'll just come out. Okay, please, ma, can I drop my daughter? My wife will be coming by this time. There's no how in my whole flat, in my whole estate, that I won't find one neighbor that at least either the woman or the man or an elder, you understand me, would just be around. Please, can my children stay with you people? So that is something that I feel that man would have done.
Now, for parents that would have been able to take those measures for 3 children, what do you think this man should have done differently?
That's
now,
what I said.
Why I mentioned hardship is because I don't know that we're not told this man's full circumstance as regards where the mother of the children was, if she was also out and busy herself. If he was at home, then he got a call. Some people are craftsmen.
Yeah, I understand.
And someone might have said, come and take a measurement for ABCD, come and take this job. Do you think that people now take this high risk? Because it's becoming very prevalent. Many children are alone at home nowadays.
Just like what I said earlier on, if you check the president of the community, from what his title called him, which means he didn't just go to somewhere, he was coming back now. That means either he has gone to work. Because for him to be called to come back means that has been the routine. He leaves them at home, goes to work. Now, the story didn't talk about the mother. That means obviously either the wife is gone or dead. You understand me? Because if the mother was available, they would have told us, and the mother came back, or we called the parents, but I didn't see them use parents. They were only using their father, which means either the mother is gone or the mother is dead. So it's been this man going and coming. So for me, this should serve as a lesson. Anyone watching, anyone listening, if you have those kind of kids at home, please find a way for an adult to be with them. Just find a way. The last time we had Davido's son drowning. Now this one even had someone in the house, just that she was busy doing something else, and the child just went to the pool, and then before we could know it, used the whatever for swimming wrongly. That was what drowned him. So this one, an adult was at home, but just because the adult was busy, that's children for you. They're very, very curious, trying to try out things, trying to just test out things, you could be shocked now that maybe all this while they've been seeing daddy open car, enter, drive and go outside, and daddy's not around. Today they said, come on, let's go play this inside the car. I'm going to drive. One person is there doing boom, the other person is there, and now they forgot that. Because they didn't know that, see you, the doors are all tight and this airtight. Now we are using up the oxygen inside this place. And they didn't know. They were just there. They said, "Whoa." And one thing about that thing is, I've been in an environment before where I started gasping for air. You won't even know. There's a way it happens. You yourself, even an adult, you won't even know that you need air. I've been in that kind of environment before. You know, where it was actually a studio. Okay, sorry, it was a lift, sorry. It was a lift. And then while we're ascending, that they took light or whatever. That was in Lagos. And we're waiting that, okay, maybe generator will come on, and we didn't know that they were working on their generator, and we were in the lift. It was almost going to 2 hours. Man, you won't even know. You just discover that you are losing strength. You won't even be able to shout. But thankfully, God was so faithful that before that, gen came on and air conditions came back on and we were able to come out. Another experience I had was when we're locked up inside an automatic, what they call that thing again, bulletproof car. In a bulletproof car, you can't bring down the windows. Everywhere is sealed. So something happened with the battery. The car couldn't start. That day was something else. So I can imagine myself as an adult now, facing that kind of a thing, and then these children. They won't even know what hit them.
Do you think inviting the father, for interview is
for
a
me,
good approach?
Since in Nigeria we
given
don't,
that three children died.
For me, inviting the man, there's no need for that interrogation, as long as they have confirmed that this man wasn't at home. Because the chief said he was one that called him to come back home. You understand me? So that information alone lets people know that this man was not at home. So there was no reason to say he killed them and then locked them up in the car and then went out. Fine. So that having been established, I think they should allow the man to go and grieve and mourn his children instead of adding more wahala.